Good morning. Good morning from fiery Los Angeles. Welcome to Power Hour every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Today I'm doing this with a heavy heart. Um, for some of you who do follow me on social media, all my social media links are in the show notes. I'm mostly active on LinkedIn and Twitter, so please go follow me there. Why do I have a heavy heart? Well, obviously, the country knows what's happening in LA and the surrounding areas, such as Altadena, Pasadena, Pacific Palisades, Malibu, West Hills. We live in a beautiful state, in a horribly mismanaged state, as far as I'm concerned. And we had these fires, and they're continuing. They're just not contained whatsoever. They keep burning. Fortunately, where it's burning now is in the hills, where there is no structures or homes, but the damage has been done mentally, financially, spiritually. The damage has been done. A beautiful city called Altadena has been destroyed, a historic city. One of the most beautiful places on the planet, called Pacific Palisades, has been destroyed. I've seen some pictures. I'm sure some of you have as well. It looks like an atomic bomb was dropped in the middle of thousands of homes. The destruction is immense. The financial cost is into the billions, multiple tens of billions. But there's a human cost, and there were lives lost. I do live in a fire area myself. We have been through this rodeo a few times over the last 22 years in this beautiful house that I'm doing this from. We've been evacuated multiple times. Living in a beautiful place comes with a cost. And the cost is not just financial, right? Lives have been lost and people have lost everything. In honor of my friend, Harold, who lives in Pacific Palisades, this was taken from his house. This is Pacific Palisades. It looks nothing like this today. It's destroyed. There's nothing left. And so, with a heavy heart, I'm going to try to push through this. Another shout out, or I'm not even sure if it's called a shout out or not, but a good friend from the other channel, Nicole Moore, who is the president of Rideshare Drivers United. She lost everything. She lost her house. I tweeted it out. There's a GoFundMe page for her. The community is so great that they have raised over the limit of the GoFundMe target within 24 hours. I'm thankful. Whoever donated to the GoFundMe page. I have multiple friends who have lost everything. Pacific Palisades and Malibu, Altadena area. Yeah, this is bad. This has been bad. And I want to thank everyone who emailed me or texted me after I posted some videos on X of what's going on. I appreciate the support. I appreciate all the emails and texts checking on how me and my family are doing. We had our bags packed a couple of nights ago. We know the drill. We've done it before. Pretty much everything had burned down about 5 years ago. So another immense gratitude to the first responders, firefighters specifically, who came and saved our house last time. They literally jumped into the fire. The videos are on X, so go follow me on X and you'll see it. I live in a fire area. I live up in the hills, and it's the cost, right? We pay for. So to all of those firefighters, first responders, there is nothing to say. other than thank you. You know, it takes a special kind of person to, disregard their own lives and try to save others and their properties. I don't know. You have to be some sort of special human being to do that. But anyway, going back, business will go on, life will go on. How this will get put back together, I don't know. The destruction is so immense. We're talking 10, 12, 15,000 homes. Those are families. Those are lives. Those are memories. I don't know. It'll take a while, probably a few years, and it won't be the same, obviously. But yeah, it's bad. It's been bad. 2025 did not start it started with this, and hopefully it'll get better. But we're resilient, we're strong, we'll come back, we'll rebuild. What else is there to do? Life goes on. That's one thing you cannot take away is, you need to plug ahead. You need to put your head down and do what's best for you and your family. But yeah, this beautiful picture behind me, that's his railing, that's his balcony. It doesn't look like that today. And yeah, it's horrible. So with that said, what's happening? Well, Ismail, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Let's talk a little bit about the channel. Channel is growing. It's doing well. Members are growing. Well, let's talk about a little bit of business about the members. So the members decided that I'm creating a chat group for the members only on Telegram. So if you're a member and you do not have Telegram, please download it. You will get a text from me. I will create a group chat. We'll call it Know Your Worth Group. Hashtag Know Your Worth, KYW group. How about that? So what do members get if you become a member? And you get a bunch of stuff. So I do appreciate the subscribers, obviously. It helps with YouTube, but I'm not doing this for YouTube money. I know that game well. I'm doing it to pay it forward, and it actually kind of, my mind is a lot stronger now after these fires. Pay it forward, man. I see all these people, strangers helping strangers. This is what life is about. I mean, without money, look, all these people lost everything, right? God knows what they're going to deal with insurance companies. We know how those are. It's going to be difficult, but without money, I mean, I'd rather have money than not have money. So it's the necessary evil. What can I do? What can I say? But going back to the members, if you choose to become a member, there's only one level. Unlike other channels, they have 3, 4, 5 different levels. I'm just going to, again, the membership is not to, make money. There's no money in this. The money you make is with your information and education that you're getting here. And hopefully you're getting it and you're improving your game. I'm here for you, for the members and the subscribers, but specifically for the members, you're going to get 4 live streams, extra live streams a month, replays of those live streams, obviously. Those live streams are Wednesdays, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, unless my schedule does not allow it. And that's why please turn on all notifications so you get a notification if I, change the day or the hour of the members only live. Those are amazing. We've done a bunch already. Unfortunately, not every member is showing up. I want every member to show up because they are a lot more hands-on. They're a lot more one-on-one, and things get done quicker that way. One second, other than the 4 live streams and replays, and access to the Telegram chat group that I'm about to create this weekend. So Ismail, please email me, sergio@sergioavadian.com. And this goes for all the members as well. Please email me your contact number. I'm going to put it into Telegram, into the chat group. I want everybody to join that chat group. Now, what's going to happen with that? That's direct access to me via that group. That's another perk you get as becoming a member. And last but not least, right, because we call our group now Know Your Worth Group. And you will get a free t-shirt, $30 value, including shipping, completely free, for becoming a member. And for that, Ismail, please send me an email with your contact number, your t-shirt size, and your physical address so I can ship it out to you. So those are the perks, 4 perks. Members only lives, replays of members only lives, direct access, phone access to me through the Telegram group, and a t-shirt. So, which is great. I think it's good. I think it's great value. I am trying my best to have for everyone to have access, but then as a member, you're going to get a lot more than an average subscriber. So consider doing that. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, turn on notifications. Content goes out almost daily. And I created actually today's live stream yesterday, scheduled it. And I put in, is the stock market and Bitcoin about to crash? Well, what's happening today? We're having some volatility. If you did watch my year-end prediction, first week of January, during last week's Power Hour, I said volatility is going to, my guess or my tea leaves are telling me that the volatility is going to pick up. And sure, certainly enough, we're picking up volatility. I'm going to stick to that. My predictions are coming out actually tomorrow and Monday, or Monday and Tuesday. The videos on Bitcoin, on the stock market. But, we're going to go through a few topics today, and I'm going to do Q&A, share my positions. Last but not least, most of you know, but I post my live positions, open positions, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to the community page of the channel. Go check them out. It's not trading advice. It's not financial advice. Trade at your own risk. If you do follow me, I tag along. I don't mind, but I don't even know if you're doing it or not. But I get in and out things quickly. Like I had puts, I sold them this morning at the first 35 minutes of the open. I mean, like, you guys need to understand that there is a lag effect. That's why I created the members only live, and you will get what I'm doing. Again, that's not going to be financial advice or trading advice. I'm just letting you guys know what you're doing, so you have a leg up. So you have basically, there is going to be a little bit of a lag, probably maximum 10 minutes. So when I do put on a position, I will, put it in the group. Now, my suggestion for you all is, I know you're all reading, you're all learning. My suggestion is, if I'm doing derivatives, options, do the underlying. Do not do what I'm doing. What I'm doing is risky. What I'm doing is not for every account size. Account size is a consideration, obviously. As you all know, last year I finished the year up 120%. I'm going to talk about that actually on the second segment today. And there are people who beat me. And the people who beat me are not the people who you think would beat me. They're not hedge funds. They're not Bill Ackmans. They're not Citadels. They're not Ken Griffiths, Griffins. You'll be surprised who beat me this year. Handily, few of them. I mean, 120% is pretty good. These people just ran circles around me. And I'm like, wow. But there'll be a segment about that. But so yeah, if I forget anything, I'll probably remember. But as I said, I'm doing this with a heavy heart today. I really am, and I'm not concerned about trading as much today. Although I got to keep my head down and do what I need to do. So A lot of friends lost their homes. A lot of friends, are homeless, right? Home is where your base is. You're grounded, right? You raise your kids there. You have memories. Um, it's just unimaginable destruction. I don't even know if I was in that situation what I would do, right? And I'm hoping I'm not in that situation. I mean, the winds are supposed to come back. These are called Santa Ana winds. We get them every year. I've been in this same house for 22 years. Both my kids were born here. We love it here. Again, go to Twitter, follow me on Twitter. You'll see the videos. That's my backyard. On top of everything else, last week my pool filter blew up. It was going to get fixed this week. No chance, because of the wind, obviously, and supposedly, we emptied the pool and it's empty. I hope it doesn't crack. I mean, these are all small problems considering other people's issues. And again, for some of you who are back, we're late. Behind me is Pacific Palisades. And I'm not there. This was taken from a friend's house in Pacific Palisades. Beautiful, beautiful place on earth. It definitely doesn't look like it today. And that's within the last 72 hours. Lives change. That's life, man. But we need to go on. We need to stay strong. We need to be resilient, and we need to help each other. We shouldn't be divisive. Although, yeah, without being divisive, I put out a tweet actually with the last video. If you guys can go check it out, our elected officials are playing checkers with these natural disasters. We need to play chess. We need to be prepared. We need to do our bush trimming. We need to do all this. None of this would happen. We need to be preemptive. We can't be reactive to these. Okay. And I already tweeted it out. What's next? Well, supposedly, whatever rainy season we have is next, right? All those hills have burned. There's no vegetation there. All that rain is not going to get absorbed. What's next? Mudslides. But I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. All I need to say is, pray for these people. I hope they pull through. I mean, financial disaster, obviously, mentally, spiritually, every which way. These people need help. This is not 5, 6, 10 homes. We're talking tens of thousands of homes are destroyed. I have pictures that I was sent by a friend. They're leveled. Just the only thing standing is a chimney. How do you rebuild? How do you get back to life? How do you continue? Where do you stay? What do you do? I can't even imagine. And we have been evacuated at least twice, from what I remember, when we had our fires. I don't even know what to say to those people, other than my heart goes out to you all. My prayers are with you and your family, and keep your head up. You have your life. Hopefully everything will go okay and we can rebuild. And so with that said, let's go into my topics today. I think I ranted enough. So as we know, one of my two favorite people on the planet, being facetious here, Janet Yellen, the current Treasury Secretary, and Jay Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve. Janet Yellen is on her way out, obviously, because she's appointed by the president. So new Scott Bessent, the new Treasury Secretary, is going to take over in a couple of weeks. But on her way out, Janet Yellen, she did an interview on CNBC. I watched it. She was smiling. I'm like, I don't know why the heck you're smiling, lady. But if you guys do follow me at all, I talk quite a bit about Mr. Friedman, one of the legendary economists of our time. He said inflation is man-made. I agree 100%. However, all the way until now, Janet Yellen has been saying that, well, we did not create inflation. It's not man-made. It's not this. It's not that. Kick the can down the road and whatever. Well, finally, I think she's owning up to it. And in that interview, she said this, and I'm going like, Janet Yellen says COVID stimulus may have contributed a little bit to inflation. That's like being a little pregnant. No, Ms. Yellen, and there's the interview right there. You guys can go check it out. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said Wednesday that the stimulus spending signed into law by President Joe Biden to aid the U.S. recovery from COVID-19 pandemic may have contributed a little bit to the country's subsequent inflation woes. Okay, I agree to a point, but the widespread rise in prices that marred the Democrats' administration was mostly a supply-side phenomenon caused by the pandemic itself. Okay. I have my rebuttal to that, and my rebuttal is when black swan events take place, like the pandemic, the governments have to do stuff, right? That's why the government's there. That's why we need the government. We don't need the government in everyday life, but we need the government when stuff goes sideways, okay? The printing and spending habit has been there already, Ms. Yellen. Our national debt was about 27 trillion, not billion. What am I doing? Trillion. My head is not straight today. Trillion, Ms. Yellen. And during the pandemic, 7 trillion was printed and pumped into the economy. All right. Well, that pushed our national debt to 35, and then every 100 days it's going up $1 trillion. So this is not just a supply side situation, Ms. Yellen, right? We have a bad habit of spending money we don't have. And how do we close the gap between what's incoming and what's outgoing? When your treasury receipts are $4.7 trillion and your Washington degenerates are spending $7.5 trillion every year, while the Fed has to have their hands tied. They have to follow a broken fiscal policy. Our fiscal house is broken, Ms. Yellen. It's been broken for a while. And I don't know what Elon and Vivek are going to do with Doge. I mean, talk is talk. Talk is cheap. We got to see the action now. But the point is, this was not just brought upon by supply side issues due to the pandemic, because the government gaslights every single American every single day with all this economic data. They keep telling you that inflation is only 2%, 3%. That's their target rate. Don't kid yourselves. Inflation runs 6 to 7% a year. And with the printing and spending, it's called debasing of the US dollar. We have reached $36.2 trillion in national debt. We put ourselves in a box. How do we come out of the box? I have no idea. I do have ideas, but this is not the place for it. So to Ms. Yellen, I'm glad you're owning up to it. 7 trillion was probably too much, but it had to be done, I guess. But it just, you should also own up to a broken fiscal policy followed by a broken monetary policy. And I'm glad you're accepting that it's that, but don't just say that it was just because of supply side issues, supply constraints or restraints because of the pandemic. We have been sowing the seeds of inflation for a long time. And I'm going to go finish this with Milton Friedman quote. Simple definition of inflation is too many dollars chasing too few goods. When you do print those kind of dollars and pump it into the economy to keep the economy straight, live on borrowed money, inflation will rear its ugly head, and it is difficult to kill it. it really is difficult to kill it. I've done a bunch of content before this about, what the Fed is doing. I mean, I do kind of blame the Fed as well, obviously, but then their hands are tied. Fed is following a broken fiscal policy, and there isn't much they can do about it. But our debt to GDP is 130% plus now and on its way higher. And we'll find out. We'll find out what the new administration is going to do about all this. As some of you may have seen that, I see the chat going, but I will answer all the comments and questions at the end. I put up my 2024 results. I finished the year right at 120%, which over the S&P, probably like 5x of the S&P benchmark, a little bit less of the triple Qs, 10x of the Russell 2000, and whatever. Not the point. So it's a good year. This year, I'm not taking any money out of my trading account. I'm leaving it as is and starting because I think volatility is going to pick up, and volatility is my friend. But volatility is also something that you really, really need to treat properly, because that's when people blow accounts as well. But I've seen these movies before, so I'm comfortable rolling my gains as well as my yearly starting point, which always is 50K. So 120% was pretty good. And then again, on Twitter, I like Twitter. Twitter is like my I don't know, anxiety release. I just go swipe through. Half of the stuff is probably fake, but whatever. But at least you can say stuff. And then what happens is that, I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember something called Mission Impossible. He would go read the tapes to learn about his mission, and then the tape will self-destruct itself. So when I put something on Twitter, it goes on for like a minute, and whoever sees it, and then it goes away because it gets buried under new stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. So I was like kind of scrolling through, and I was like, what? So I thought I did okay. I did all the hedge funds because I did put that video out, actually. Go check it out, my year-end results. And I pretty much beat every hedge fund by like 3x, 4x. The top hedge fund, I think, like return was like 35%. And I'm like, well, cool, that was a good year, right? And then I came across this. This is mind-blowing to me. You guys think Nancy Pelosi is doing well? You guys think she's doing well? This is not political, people. This goes to show what a little bit of inside information, this is all legal, I'm sure. I'm not questioning the legality of it. There were House members, senators, House representatives that ran circles around me at 120% with their trading in 2024. They ran circles around Nancy. I'm going like, screw all this. Let me just go follow these people. Because guess what? They are heads of committees. They know exactly what laws are coming down the pipe. And then they go like, okay, well, just buy this stock and buy that stock and sell this stock and buy this stock. These are active trading accounts, by the way, people. These are not like buy and holds and whatever. So here it is. I got my ass handed to me by these people. So stock trades for both Democrat and Republican politicians outperformed the S&P 500 in 2024, gaining 31% and 26% respectively. 5 politicians actively traded an annual gain of 100% or more in 2024. Here's the full breakdown. So red, obviously, Republican, blue, Democrat. So there's pretty much 50-50. You guys would think it'll be all Republican. It's not. Although the top honor goes to David Rouser with 149% gain in 2024. This goes from December 2023 to December 2024. Huh? This guy should just quit being a House member and create his own hedge fund. He would have money thrown at him from all angles. Number 2, Debbie Schultz, a Democrat, Kreinhardt liberal, 142%. Ron Wyden, 123%. Look where Nancy's at. Nancy's buried. I mean, she had a great year. Don't get me wrong. Look at Nancy. Nancy's right here. Nancy Pelosi right here. 71%. Don't you all want to have like stuff like this? Right? Look at this. All the way down to here. All the way down to Marjorie Green at 30%. All these people above here, they all beat the S&P 500 by 2x, 3x, 4x. And I was thinking like, I did well. No. So this proves why these people during elections spend millions of dollars to get a job that pays them. I don't know what a senator gets paid, probably a couple $100K a year, right? And House of Representatives, I don't know what they get paid, probably 150, 180K a year as a public official. But they are committees, right? They're heads of committees. I don't know how many hundreds of committees there are in Washington. And they have the info. They pass the laws. They know what's coming. I don't know what's coming, right? And they can preempt all that stuff and get 140% return, trading return on their money. And I'm going like, I personally think they should not be allowed to trade. No, they should be allowed to own, obviously, stocks, but they should put them in a trust, give the control of it to completely some third party, right? I mean, they shouldn't sell their stuff because they became an elected official, but they should not be able to buy and sell stocks like I do. I mean, these are active accounts. These are not like ETFs that they go DCA into, you know. Personally speaking, although now there is actually a bill in Congress requiring that, current politicians or current elected officials, such as senators and House members, should not be allowed to trade. I'm all for that. I think you're there to take care of your constituents and take care of the business of the country. You should not pay too much attention to that. Although I'm not against them owning things, obviously. We're in a capitalist society, right? But you should not be like actively trading like I do. I put on 1,000 trades last year. I mean, I'm pretty sure the top guy or person, maybe not that active, but active means like they're not in ETFs, because no ETF can do 140%. It's mind-numbing to me. In fact, Bill Ackman, who was a hedge fund billionaire, posted this too. I think I took the picture from the original post was on unusual whales. I love that account, so I follow it. And they posted it, and everybody else posted it. It's like I need to talk about this, because I'm like taking victory laps around the house saying, hey, 120% is pretty good. I'm like, no. So now my goal is this year to beat the top guy, that the Republican who was at 140%. Let's see if I can get 140%. But now we know why they spend all those millions to get elected, right? Well, it is what it is. It's our system. So I don't know how many of you own homes. Well, a lot of people lost their homes this week in Los Angeles and the vicinity. I talk quite a bit about the future of the younger generation, how the home ownership is completely unaffordable now. And I talk quite a bit about the Fed pivot. So September 18th of last year, Fed started lowering interest rates, something called the Fed funds rate. And you would think they lowered the interest rates, mortgage rates would go down, because mortgage cost, interest cost, mortgage payment is the largest part of your home buying adventure. Okay. You need a mortgage. Unless you have the cash, you plop it down and you buy it for cash. How many people do that? No. So I talk quite a bit about the future of the new generation, of them being able to afford a starter home. Well, a starter home in California is $1 million. Any way you look at it, a shack in the ghetto is $1 million, literally, these days. So they have no chance, right? But then you would think, okay, we're going to catch a break here. Fed is lowering the rates. Mortgage rates are going to come down. Well, mortgage rates are not tied to what the Federal Reserve is doing, unfortunately. a lot of people think, yeah, my credit card bill is going to go down, or the interest is going to go down, or my car loan is going to go down. Well, no, because the Fed can do certain things, but then all these interest rates are tied up to the 10-year note, the 20-year note, and those move independently of what the Fed is trying to do. But the magnitude of the move, it's the first time I'm seeing this in my 30 plus years. Fed lowered the Fed funds rate by 100 basis points, and the market decided Fed is smoking crack. None of this is going to happen. Inflation is going to come back. In fact, the reason the market's selling off today heavily is because inflation may come back, and that'll be the killer. Because Fed was taking a little bit of a victory lap, saying, yeah, we need to cut rates. I'm like, why are you guys cutting rates if the economy is doing well? But different topic. Sticking with the topic, home ownership is completely unaffordable for pretty much everyone. Why? Because when the inflation showed up, Fed raised the rates from 0 to 5%. 30-year, fixed mortgages went from 3.5% to 7%. Then the Fed pivoted September 18th of last year and started cutting rates. You would think the rates would go down. Initially, they kind of did. And now we're facing this. Well, home ownership cost comparison. In 2021, this is not going back too far, 2021 versus 2025. What's the difference between 2021 and 2025? Since the great financial crisis in 2008, we had something called ZIRP, zero interest rate policy. That's when the mortgages were 3.5% for a 30-year fixed. That's what most people get when they purchase a house. Well, in 2022, Fed started raising rates because inflation was getting out of control, right? And they raised the rates from 0% to 5%, and mortgages went from 3.5% to 7.5% on the 30-year fixed. This is with good credit, by the way. So in 2021, median home price was $346,000. 10% down payment would be $34,600. Monthly payment at 3% interest rate, that's where the mortgages were, would be $1,313 a month. So at that time, right, ownership over rent, being a renter, was a huge advantage. Okay, well, let's fast forward to 2025. In 2025, median home price $405,000. You guys see what's happening here, right? It's called inflation, people. Fed can say inflation is 2%. It's not. It's 6-7% a year. And every single hard asset that you guys are aware of, from the stock market to gold to real estate, it keeps going up because of inflation. Real estate is one of the best inflation hedges if you can afford it. But look what's happening here. In 2025, median home price is $405,000, 10% down payment, $40,500. Monthly payment at 7% interest rate, which is where the 30-year fixed is now, $2,425, almost double. Buying a home in 2021 with a 30-year mortgage meant you spent a total of $473,000 in principal and interest. In 2025, you spend a total of $873,000 in principal and interest to pay off your 30-year mortgage. That's $300,000 more, or 63%. In a less than 4-year difference. Well, this is exactly why buying a home for the average American, or a 30-year-old couple, or even college-educated couple, is almost an impossibility these days. And so to finish this, I urge you to go follow something called TLT. Look at the chart of it. You can Google it. TLT is the inverse indicator of a 20-year bond. Look at it. Since the Fed started cutting the rates, and the last cut was a couple of weeks ago, another 0.25 percentage point, so 100 basis points Fed has cut since September 18th. The interest rates on the actual bonds have gone up, including today, 120 basis points. It's the first time in my 30 years I'm seeing this. Fed is trying to lower rates. The bond market is not buying any of it. They go like, nope. We're going to raise rates because we think inflation is coming back. Always listen to the bond market. And finally, I think today, and it started a couple of weeks ago, but rates mean something to stocks, people. To all the people who have not seen this movie before, who have never seen a recession, who have never seen, a prolonged downside on the markets, rates do mean something. At some point, things will break. Higher rates are not good for anything. So, and that's what the bond market is doing. Bond market keeps raising rates. Fed is saying everything is fine. We're lowering rates. No. Bond market keeps raising rates, and the victim is, home ownership, and how we cannot afford homes in this country anymore. Not only the price is going up of the average median price home, the mortgage rates are up to 7.5%, completely unaffordable. So renting now is probably better than owning, because most people cannot afford it. Thank you, Luis. I appreciate it. Okay, so Luis, please email me and all the other new members, Sergio@sergioavadian.com. I will send you a thank you email and the perks you're going to get. I'm pretty sure you already know what the perks you're going to get, but in that email, please attach your contact information as a phone number. Creating a Telegram group so you can get my trades live and have some direct access to me. And number 2, I want you to email me your t-shirt size and your physical address so I can send you one of these wonderful #KnowYourWorth t-shirts. Those are some of the additional perks on top of the 4 live streams you get. Luis, you already got the message. I'm going to get to the comments later, but I saw one. So I came across something. I'm going to put this on the community page, as well as my open positions today on the community page before 2 p.m. Pacific, hopefully. I came across this. This looks old to me, but there are cycles. Like, see the beautiful Pacific Palisades that doesn't look anything like it today behind me? See those swells and waves? Those come in cycles, okay? Stock market also has cycles. You guys, need to start studying cycles. I know, I sometimes say stuff that I go like, what is this guy talking about? Indulge me, because I'm thinking all of you know what I know, which is my downfall when it comes to all of this. I gotta treat you guys like elementary school kids, not out of disrespect. I need to. I think you all know what I know, and I know you don't. And I'm going like, okay, so I'm going to talk about cycles. There are cycles in the stock market. This is no joke. It's like the waves in the ocean or the swells in the ocean. They come every few minutes or few hours, or it repeats itself, right? So I came across this little chart. I'm going to post this. So you guys go study it. When I do post it on the community page, it's uncanny how this thing, is kind of predicting the cycles of the market. So I'm like, okay, I need to talk about this. I need to put this short. So as you guys can tell, it's like done on a piece of paper. It looks like it's drawn by rulers. It doesn't look like it looks pretty old. There is like a signature on the lower right hand side. It says 1875. I'm going like, this is interesting. So it has 3 little, hands, A, B, C, periods when to make money. I'm like, okay, I'm not taking this lightly. I don't take anything lightly that I look at, because if I already know it, I know it. If I don't know it, I'm going to share it with you, because I think this is amazing. Okay. Again, no trading advice, no financial advice. However, on A, years in which panics have occurred and will occur again. And I'm like, look at this, 2019, 1999, dot-com bubble. This goes back to 1875, probably. Yeah, it does. Actually, it goes to 1924, actually, the crash, right? 2019. What started at the end of 2019? The pandemic. What happened to the market? Went down 40%. So the next one, panic, is not supposed to come, according to this, until 2035. So we got 10 years. We're good. However, now go to the bottom of it. Just follow the cursor with me. Go to the bottom of it. And B is years of good times, high prices, and the time to sell stocks and values of all kinds. That's B. And then there's a C. C is years of hard times, low prices, and good time to buy stocks. corner lots, goods, etc. Corner lots. I mean, now I know it's from 1875. And hold till the boom reaches the years of good times, then unload. Okay. So then I really started paying attention to this. I was like taking it as a joke initially, but then I go like, no, I got to pay attention to this. All right, check this out. So the times to buy stocks is C, times to start lightening up is B, and time to unload everything is A. So we're not going to reach to A for a while. However, there is a small cycle here. You guys see this little triangle here in 2026. So we may be okay in 2025 and all sometimes through 2026, but it seems like 2026 is a good time to sell because by 2032, that's when the market's going to pull back. It looks like, according to this, and we buy everything we can, and then we all become millionaires, stock millionaires, right here. So I'm going to post this up. Look, I do pay attention to cycles. There's like many different cycles in the market, and on most of your trading platforms, there may be some cycle indicators, but go Google it. Cycles in the stock market. There are short-term cycles. There are people who make a living by trading cycles, and there's cycle peaks, cycle lows, 21-day cycles. There's a whole bunch of cycles. So just Google it and then start reading it. I don't want to get too deep into it, but I'm going to post this. Study this. This is interesting because it's uncanny how those hold true. I mean, 2000.com bubble, and then the middle was 2008 GFC, then 2019, which was the pandemic. When that thing hits, like the big triangle hits the peak, that's the time to buy, right? And that was true. Look what happens since the pandemic, right? Unbelievable. So that's that. So I do, as you all know, how much I talk about Bitcoin, and today's topic or headline for the Power Hour is the stock market and Bitcoin are going to crash. Well, they're kind of moving in tandem now, but then with a little bit of a decoupling, because you would have thought in the old days when the market is down 2%, 3% from its highs, Bitcoin would be down 10% from its highs, which kind of is, but it's hanging in there. I mean, it's volatile, obviously, but not as volatile as before. I think volatility is kind of subsiding on Bitcoin as well. And the reason there was a lot of people called Bitcoin, oh, it crashed. I'm like, what crash? It went from 107,000 was the peak. It went down to 92,000. That's 10-12%. That's not a crash. Crash is like if it goes from 107,000 to 50,000, maybe that would be called a crash. Look, there are believers in Bitcoin. There are haters of Bitcoin. I'm a believer in Bitcoin. Okay. I even started dollar cost averaging. I think my highest purchase was 102,000. I bought some more yesterday at 93,000. That's $100 a week I'm buying. Every Monday morning, I wake up, have my cup of coffee before I turn my actual trading on. I go to Coinbase, boom, $100, whatever the price is. I couldn't care less what the price is. I'm adding to my position from 6 years ago. I hadn't bought Bitcoin for 6 years. So now I'm going like, okay, I'm a believer in Bitcoin. That's because it goes back to all the debasing of the US dollar and what the government's doing to us, right? So, okay, so that's the only thing that's a holder of value. Some people call it digital gold. I'm like, none of that. It's a holder of value to me. Can I go buy something with it? No. Maybe in the short future, I think there's going to be a lot of products coming around backed by Bitcoin. However, the reason Bitcoin took a dump from 107 to 92, this is known, is, have you guys heard of something called Silk Road, which was like where all the illegal stuff takes place in the dark web? Okay, so Silk Road was operating there, and the U.S. Got a hold of a whole bunch of Bitcoin there from these illegal operations, okay? And what happened is that after 4 years in courts, finally, the appellate court greenlights sale of $6.5 billion in seized Silk Road Bitcoin. The ruling does not ensure immediate liquidation of seized Bitcoin, as federal asset forfeiture requires several administrative processes. FYI, a very close friend of mine who lives pretty nearby to me in Northridge, he actually is the one that goes repossesses all these things, people's homes and stuff. He works for the marshal's office. So shout out to you. The U.S. government has secured final approval in the Northern District Court of California to liquidate crypto's largest ever federal seizure. Okay? And, okay. Now, what is the downside to this? Do you all remember, have maybe you guys, were following me then, about 4 months, 5 months ago, when Bitcoin was going sideways between like 70,000 and 58,000 or whatever it was, you know who sold 50,000 Bitcoin then? The German government did. So now going out, Biden administration is going to sell $6.5 billion of Bitcoin. How many Bitcoin was that, by the way? Let me see. 69,370 Bitcoin. Great. What is that in the total out of 21 million? Nothing. Michael Saylor will buy all that. The point is of being facetious here. 70,000 Bitcoin is nothing. Market will absorb, but then what happens? People panic and then they sell. More power to them. Better for me. I'll DCA at a lower cost. But that was the reason for Bitcoin to take a little bit of a hiccup, a dump. And it's good for me. I mean, and good for you who believe in Bitcoin or maybe other cryptos, because most of them are moving off of Bitcoin anyway. So this morning, Bitcoin went, I think, to 92,000. And I think it's back to 95,000 already. So it's kind of hanging in there. My prediction was Bitcoin is going to go sideways for a few months and then break out again. We'll see what happens. Those predictions will come out Monday. But I am a believer in Bitcoin. If you're not a believer in Bitcoin, it's okay with me. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to debate you. Everybody has their own opinion about these things. I think Bitcoin should be every part of everyone's portfolio, maybe 5-7%. That's about it. I wouldn't put more than that. Another 5-7% should be gold, because you need to protect yourself against the debasing of the US dollar. How many finite assets are there? I don't know. Bitcoin is one. So, and Bitcoin, I think, is the only one, because you can always create more gold. You can always create other diamonds, and you can always, there's more real estate, right? There's unlimited land and you can build on. I mean, but that's why all the hard asset prices are at all-time highs. It's because of the debasing of the currency, because of the government gaslighting and saying inflation is 2%. It's not. It's 6-7%. So I do talk a lot about Michael Saylor. Look, he's not my mentor or idol or whatever. I'm too old. I'm older than him probably. But Michael Saylor, gambler or a genius, well, everybody has an opinion on it. He's the hottest commodity out there going. And what is he doing? What has he been doing? Well, he just announced that he's going to, in January sometime this year, well, now, coming up, now he's going to offer $2 billion in perpetual preferred stocks. He announced this already. He's trying to get authorization for his shareholders to increase the common shares to 10.3 billion shares from 330 million shares. I'm pretty sure he'll get the authorization because he owns 49.6% of the voting stock. All he has to do is, find somebody to push him over 50. That looks like it's already in the bag. But he also announced that he's going to he's increasing the authorization for the shares of preferred stock from 5 million to 1 billion shares. I mean, he's all in. I did a really cool video about it. Michael Saylor is all in. It got like a bunch of views on it. But have you guys seen the movie Queen's Gambit? It was one of my favorite movies. Okay. So I call this now, and I saw this article, and I'm going to show you guys in a minute, this is Michael Saylor's Bitcoin Gambit, right? Look, this is either going to work wonderfully well, or this is going to work horribly bad. I personally do not tell anything, to anybody that should trade Bitcoin. Bitcoin should not be traded. Bitcoin is not to be traded. A lot of people do. I'm against it. You buy it, you put it in your cold storage. That's it. You buy it again. If it goes down, you buy it. Dollar cost average it. But Michael Saylor is not doing that. Michael Saylor is almost buying every weekend. And now he's going to issue $2 billion more. Now, this time preferred stock. So Michael Saylor is doing it three ways. He's doing it through ATM sales, at the market share sales. He's doing it through convertible bonds. And he's doing it now with preferred stocks. Basically, Michael Saylor wants to be the supermarket for all other institutions who are not able to participate in the Bitcoin market due to their corporate charter or whatever charter that they have to follow. They have to follow rules. If you're a corporate bond mutual fund, you cannot buy Bitcoin. But if you do buy the convertible bonds that Michael Saylor is issuing through MicroStrategy, then you're using MicroStrategy to get into the Bitcoin market, right? So that's why this is called the Saylor Bitcoin Gambit. Bitcoin's 42 billion corporate strategist. And now he's going to do preferred stock. Well, there are funds or corporations who can only invest in preferred stock. So he's becoming a proxy or a conduit for all these other corporations or institutions who cannot invest directly in Bitcoin. They're not allowed to, but then he's creating all these products for them to invest. And what is he doing with the money? A lot of people are calling this Ponzi, okay? I don't think it is, but everybody is entitled to their opinion. He's issuing all these different products who other institutions can come and invest in, and they are doing it so far. So a lot of people say, well, what happens if he doesn't buy Bitcoin anymore? I'm like, I don't know, and we'll find out, because time will come for that too, I'm pretty sure. Will it go down? Probably. Because is he the only one buying, by the way? No, right? There are many other companies now following in his footsteps at a much smaller size. So the conclusion in this article was Michael Saylor's strategy is undeniably bold. I agree. By leveraging convertible bonds and embracing Bitcoin as a corporate asset class, he has redefined how companies can approach treasury management in the digital age. I agree. So he's borrowing all this money. He's doing the stock sales. Is he diluting shareholders? Yes, but he's replacing whatever the dilution is in Bitcoin. I mean, obviously, this is a Bitcoin proxy. And if you don't believe in Bitcoin, you should not touch MicroStrategy. And my final word about this is do not trade Bitcoin. There's many surrogates. You guys will see my positions now in a minute when I put them up. There's many surrogates and proxies of Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is one. Then there is 2x ETFs that you guys can trade, which I'm trading. You should trade MicroStrategy and the ETFs of MicroStrategy as opposed to Bitcoin itself. Bitcoin, you buy, you hold, you put in your cold wallet, you buy some more, or you want to keep it on an exchange. I'm doing it through Coinbase. I have a referral link. If you use my link and open an account to buy some crypto, I think we both get some cash. No big deal. But yeah, that's what he's doing. A lot of people are saying it's a Ponzi. I don't think it's a Ponzi. It would be Ponzi if he was paying the new investors with all investor money, like Madoff did. He's taking the money in, literally immediately he's going buying Bitcoin with it. And I have done some calculations. There are a couple of videos I already did. If Bitcoin goes to 200,000, what is the price of MicroStrategy? I think today it's like 330, 340. You guys will see those numbers. I mean, figure it out. It's not that hard to figure out. And I'm religiously following something called MNAV, multiple to net asset value. I'm figuring out how many. At the moment, MicroStrategy holds about 450,000 Bitcoin. All you have to do is multiply that times the Bitcoin price, and then go see how many shares outstanding there are, and you can figure out the MNAV. I've done videos explaining that multiple times. But last but not least, MicroStrategy has followers, obviously, as analysts. We call them analysts on Wall Street. I don't follow too many analysts, but then a lot of analysts, like to jump on the bandwagon. And they're sell-side analysts, right? All the people that come on CNBC, basically, they go talk their book. Well, I mean, I would do that too. I'm not against it. I mean, I wish it was more balanced on CNBC, right? But there is one thing on CNBC that you guys can follow religiously, okay? You guys know who Jim Cramer is? Okay. So Jim Cramer has blocked me on Twitter. I don't know why. I probably said something that pissed him off. which is my badge of honor. Thank you, Mr. Kramer. I appreciate it. He blocked me, and I'm like, okay, cool. But if you do everything that Jim Cramer says, but do the opposite, you will be fine. You will do better than Nancy Pelosi. Okay, no joke. This is on Twitter. 4 days ago, 4 days ago, he tweeted saying that he's visiting California. Hope there are no fires in California when he's there. Holy shit. The whole city is burning down. Even to that this guy is like, I don't know. I mean, he's an opposite magnet, man. So if he says buy something, short it. If he says sell something, buy it. You will do great. But anyway, so there's this analyst that put out targets on MicroStrategy, and his target is $650. Okay, he's the top 3 analyst, 5-star analyst on Wall Street, right? And he believes in what Michael Saylor is doing, unlike some other people like Peter Schiff, and he says Bitcoin is going to go to 0 and MicroStrategy is a Ponzi or whatever. Look, there's many opinions about this, but Benchmark's Mark Palmer, an analyst ranked in the top 3% of Wall Street stock experts, he says, we believe MicroStrategy's plan to tap the perpetual preferred market underscores the shareholder value it has been creating through its treasury operations. I agree, which helps to justify. This is another tool now for other institutions to come, give money to participate indirectly participate in the Bitcoin market through MicroStrategy's offerings. Since MicroStrategy's preferred stock would be perpetual, it would have no set maturity dates or lump sum principal repayments, such as Palmer goes to add. The securities, in essence, would offer preferred investors, which they only can invest in preferred shares, a unique proposition, an embedded indefinite call option on a company whose value is based almost entirely on a highly volatile cryptocurrency. To this end, Palmer rates MicroStrategy shares a buy, along with a street high of 650 price target. It's a double from here. So I'm like, okay. So there are a lot of analysts who are doing this, who are putting all these targets on. I did, quick calculation here, okay? Bitcoin 100,000, MicroStrategy 330, with an MNAV of about 1.6, 1.7. It used to be at 3.5. Should it have that kind of premium over its Bitcoin holdings? Because its Bitcoin holdings are only 45 billion. Company is valued at 70 billion, 73 billion. Why should there be that kind of premium, right? Well, that's the premium that people are paying to play. However, MicroStrategy as an existing entity does have software. They're in different businesses, okay? It's legacy software. It's not a Google, it's not a Microsoft, obviously, but, they do have some sales. But so if that MNAV gets down to 1.5, you should buy MicroStrategy and all its ETFs. If it gets up to 2.5, you need to be really careful with it. So at the peak, when Bitcoin last time was at cracking through 100,000, MicroStrategy was $540 a share. Now we're 330. And I did a really cool video. Go watch it. There is no free meals on Wall Street. I figured it out, and so did every other hedge fund on the planet. Short MicroStrategy, buy Bitcoin, because that MNAV is going to shrink, and they certainly shrunk that value. Now we're 1.6-ish, 1.7-ish, which is about fair. I think 1.5 is a buy, 2.05 is a sell on all the proxies and of Bitcoin. So 100,000 Bitcoin, 45 billion Bitcoin treasury holdings. Okay, all right, 200,000 Bitcoin. This is again Bitcoin under the assumption that it's going to go higher. Okay, 200,000 Bitcoin under the assumption that MicroStrategy doesn't buy one more Bitcoin, which we know they will. But let's say with today's pricing, 450,000 Bitcoin at 200,000 is 90 billion. Put a 1.7x on it. Okay, what is that? That's about 140, 160, 145, 150 billion. Well, they have 230 million shares. Divide that by 230 million shares outstanding at the moment. What's that? That's $700, right? So you guys got to think that 650 target is coming from somewhere. Bitcoin goes to 500,000. Bitcoin goes to 1 million. Michael Saylor thinks Bitcoin is going to 10 million. I pop. I'm like, I don't know. Not in my lifetime, probably, but it could be. I don't know. My point is, do not trade Bitcoin. Trade MicroStrategy and its surrogates. You will be fine. So, with that said, we're done. Let's look at the comments. Cheeky Chops, stop spamming the board, please. So, Ishmael, thank you for becoming a member. Email me, Sergio at sergioavadian.com, with all the stuff I asked, your number, your t-shirt size, and your physical address. I will send you one of these shirts for free. Edward Lee, Techie B, good morning, good morning. Yeah, man. We got to do what we got to do. We got to make money. Yeah. Thank you, Ishmael. Yeah, I did share it. It's on my Twitter account. So my Twitter account is in the show notes. Go follow me, and then you'll see it. I did share it. We did raise. I did text with her today. She's heartbroken, devastated, obviously. The GoFundMe was set for 15,000. Within 24 hours, we raised over 21,000. I'm sure it's going to go higher. I even tagged the CEOs of the rideshare companies. I hope anonymously they go in and help her out at times like this. There are no enemies. Okay. No, Harold doesn't need one. Harold is taken care of. But yeah. Yeah, but Nicole Moore does. Cheeky Chops, yeah, okay, cool. Well, go look at these politicians, bro. I mean, they just ran circles around me. I'm like, it's. I'm trying my best. Thank you. I appreciate it, Cheeky Chops. Why aren't you a member, by the way? Become a member, bro. I'll send you a t-shirt. Yeah, Nancy. Nancy was like halfway. There was like 100. Somebody did twice as good as Nancy. Like, good for them, I guess. I don't know. Anyone, Muhammad Malik? Anyone have an idea on alt season? Altcoin, you mean? It's supposed to be this year. We'll see. I don't know. I think most of these coins are following Bitcoin to a point. To a point. Not always. Oh my God, Cheeky Chops, look at this. Come on, bro. Seriously? Give people a break. Wonderful. This is the wrong channel for that app, right? Donnie. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Luis. Zoom says, I just need insider info. My info is not insider, sir. Please don't spread any rumors. I have no inside info. None. I'll just trade what I see. No inside info whatsoever. At all. So shouldn't Bitcoin go up? Absolutely, yeah. Well, Bitcoin, actually, US dollar is getting extremely strong against other currencies around the world, but US dollar getting stronger against other currencies doesn't mean your buying power is getting more. You see what I'm saying? Your buying power is actually getting cut 7-8% a year. Figure out, if you had $100, Chris, 10 years ago, is that $100 buying the same amount of goods as it is today? No, that's debasing of the currency. US dollars actually against other currencies is doing extremely well because why? China is in a depression almost. Look at their interest rates. Their interest rates are collapsing. All the World Federal Reserve interest rates, right, are going down. They're cutting it because they're seeing trouble ahead. That's the only reason they're cutting the rates. Global Federal Reserves, right? We're trying to do the same thing, but our bond market is going like, up yours, not going to listen. They're raising the rates. So the interest rate differential at the moment between, let's say, China or Japan or Germany or, the EU and the US is as wide as ever been. Our rates are at 5%, their rates are at 1%. So what's happening? There's a carry trade that's happening. People are borrowing over there at 1%, bringing it over here, putting it into treasuries and getting 5%. See the difference, how the game is played? And in order to do that, you have to exchange your currency. So you need to go do what? You need to convert the other currencies you're borrowing under, convert it into the US dollar, and you have to buy US dollars to buy the treasuries, because you can't buy US treasuries with the yuan or with the yen, right? Or with the euro. That's what's happening. That's why the US dollar against other currencies is going through the roof. But that doesn't look, as long as our government prints money and spends it, and these deficits and national debt keeps going up, Bitcoin is going to do extremely well. So Luis, thank you. I gave you the spiel. Email me, sergio@sergioavedian.com. I will deliver you the t-shirt, and send me your phone number so I can put you on the list. There's one. Hello all. Hello, Craig. Okay, Damien, why do you think Bitcoin is going to crash? Why do you think so? You seem like a glass half empty type of a person. Will you let it? Yes. Well, you will get a message saying, "Hey, I'm trying." It's not dumbing it down. It's just like trying to make sense out of all this. Dumbing down, going a little. Yeah, please. Yes, I agree. I apologize. I'm just, my head is not there. Edward Lee, I love chess. Yes, I am a chess player. Probably not as good as you. Oh yeah, right. Queen's Gambit, amazing movie, wonderful movie. That last scene, right, when she took that Russian down. Holy shit, that was amazing. Yes, KULR is buying Bitcoin. So so is Marathon, so is Riot. There are a lot of companies who are doing what Michael Saylor is doing at a smaller scale. In your opinion, ETF, buy gold. Yeah, you can buy GLD. That's gold ETF. Okay, TakeB says, I joined a little late this morning, Sergio. Is your home safe? Yes, my home is safe. I said at the end. Yeah, I know you have a long drive. My home is safe. Well, I'm in the fire zone. I live up in the hills, and I put out the videos. It's super windy, and when the winds kick in, Santa Ana, as they're called, they blow from the north to the south to the east. And the gusts on Friday, today's Friday. The gusts on Tuesday, Wednesday were up to like 70, 80 miles an hour with a steady 50-mile-an-hour wind. And when there's fire, you know what happens, right? My home is safe. The canyon next to me burned about 4 years ago, so it's all lush and green now. Fingers crossed, man. What can you do? Last time, my gratitude to our firefighters. They jumped into the fire, saved our house. I'm literally right next to the canyon, like literally, like there's a street and me. So if it goes up, it goes up, man. You know, our shit is packed. We've played this game before. I don't know. You know, so far so good. Can't think about it. Which is the best gold ETF? GLD, buddy. GLD. That's the gold ETF. Hello, did you post members only? Yes, I did. It's on the members only. You should be able to see it. Of course it is. It's on the channel. If you remember, it is. DAR. I don't know what that is. Oh, Dara King. I don't know. Come on, cheeky chops. Louis, thank you for becoming a new member. Louis, so email me your t-shirt size, your physical address, and your phone number so you can be part of the group. Telegram. You got it. If you don't have Telegram, okay, they chose Telegram. I was like, WhatsApp, I'm against. I hate Facebook, but then they read your shit. So Telegram is like this thing, nobody else can read it, right? And then it disappears. So if you have your settings set up for it to disappear after a day or a week, all the text disappear. You can't take a screenshot on it though. So the members, existing members, decided on Telegram. Signal, Telegram, those are the ones that I use. So, huh? No. Pelosi couldn't touch me, but the other dude did. I forgot his name. Cheeky chops, holy crap. Buy goals. Okay. Okay. So let me take this off and then add my position screen. Here is my positions. You guys all can see this. I'll go through the charts real quick, another 15 minutes. Look at the watch list. You all can see this. Put a thumbs up. These are my existing positions. I will put those up on the community page by 2 o'clock today. I haven't added really. I started opening a couple of small positions today, but I'm being really careful. Market's just not healthy at the moment. We talked about that. Advanced decline line is absolutely tanking. So it's been tanking for a while, and the indexes are catching up to it. And I said that to you guys. What are institutions going to sell first? The most liquid stocks, right? Those are the Mag 10s. And all right. So okay, I have what did I buy? I bought something. I heard a ping. I don't know what I bought, but I did something. Give me 1 second. I'm hearing something in the house. Just give me 1 second. You guys keep watching this. I'll be right back. We just got automated messages. No, the house one. Okay, house one. Yeah. Where did it begin? It's coming towards us. Okay, apologies for the commotion. That was my son. Says we got the. Oh man. Well, you guys are getting the news live. Oh shit. Okay. Sorry, I cannot continue at the moment. Don't panic. We're okay. Hold on a second. Okay, I had my phone turned off. Okay, we just got the extreme emergency alert, LAFT, evacuate now, evacuation order. Archer fire for Granada Hills, 5 freeway, Tampa says now. That is literally like on top of me. So I will have to end this now. Yeah, I just got it. That's why my son was at the door banging on my door. I know the picture is a little blurry. So we're not panicked. No, this is not false. This is real. The fire actually would be Canyon, which is like literally 5 minutes from my house. So I will end this here. I will keep you guys posted. Hopefully we'll be okay. Apologies for cutting it short, but I will post everything when I can post it. But at the moment, I have to end it. And you all be safe. You all stay healthy. If we're still here, Monday, join me Monday for trading with Sergio. Hopefully we'll still be here. But at the moment, I have to end this and then take care of some business. So be well. Thumbs up.